Hello, all my flossy friends. Welcome to Jeanette Crafter, my flosstube channel. My name is Michelle, my pronouns are she, her, and I am a YouTube channel that talks mostly about cross stitch, based in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'll also be talking about books today and some life stuff that we're going to update with first. I will say that if you don't like hearing about pets and medical stuff, you might want to skip ahead a few minutes. It's all good news at the end, because obviously I'm here joking about it, but you know, some people that could be upsetting, so just so you know. So, I'm here. It's been a rough couple weeks. It is April 15th, and it is snowing a lot. It's great, it's fine. I have to shovel after this. I probably should be shoveling and not filming a floss tube, but if I didn't do it then, now, when would I? And, like I said, I'm gonna put a clickbait title up there, and it's going to be why I'm not going to Stitch North. And it's with sadness I'm not going to Stitch North. Last year when the registration opened, I wasn't positive I was going to be able to make it, so I put myself on the wait list because, well, you don't get to go anywhere, buddy. I was, you know, life happens, right? And I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to go in May. And then it turns out I was going to be able to go in May until we had something happen. And I would like you to introduce my cats. Their new names: Stitch North Flight Bill, Stitch North Flight, Stitch North Hotel Costs. These two suckers have put their mommy out of a lot of money the last couple weeks. And yeah, they did. They're both big boys, as you can see. This is Odie and this is Orfeo. I'm gonna let them go because they're done with my shenanigans, but that was my intro. And I'm gonna talk about them now a lot. So, I want to say it was March 30th. Odie's always been a bit of a grumpy geriatric cat man. Like, he was a cat that was born old, right? Like, he was just grumpy old man from day one. And so, he's always, you know, haven't thought too much about anything. So, you're going to come back up? Okay, come back up, buddy. So, I didn't think too much about him, all right? Like, he was normal. And then one day, woke up and he was not normal. I honestly thought he had a seizure. He was so weird with his back legs, like the way he was walking. Like, my first thought was seizure because we had a dog who had seizures when I was a teenager, so that's what I went to. Vet. Luckily it was not an emergency vet. They were able to fit us in. That was great. Not so great. Odie doesn't travel well, so it was not a good time. It was a very stressful time, actually. So we get there to the vet, yada yada yada. It's arthritis. Like, long story short, arthritis. So it's fine. Like, he was hiding it until he couldn't, because, like, honestly, like, he was still jumping up and around. Like, yeah, he was moving a little bit slower, but he's also, like, a decade old, like, you know? And he was getting, like, a little greasy, matted on his back legs, but he does not like grooming himself. So, like, there was no warning signs, you know what I mean? Like, nothing that immediately jumped out as, like, oh, hey, something's going on. So, anyways, gone to the vet. He got an injection, he got like some medicine. He's more or less moving around like himself. It was really fun. It was really stressful. Oh, I was being a pain in the butt with a package that was delivered. So that was really great. You know, really high stress way to start off April. And then, so that was March 30th. April 1st is where I have to pay all my day home fees. I just want that's relevant, right? All my day home fees. And then April 8th, my other boy, come here, buddy. Come here. Come say hi. You gonna come say hi? You gonna come say hi? Oh, you're gonna come say hi again. Ugh. This big boy here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this. He's a big boy. He a big boy. We noticed he was acting weird about the litter box. And basically he was just struggling to urinate, or if at all. And again, my childhood cat growing up had those issues, so I knew all about urinary crystals and urinary blockages. But you know, it was like, really, dude? Really? You couldn't wait a week? So, again, very lucky. It wasn't our usual vet, but I was able to find a vet within their normal hours. Oh, you're going to show off your shave patch? He's a little bit of shave patch where they took blood. So we were able to get him in. It's like the longest 3 hours. Because, like, you know, we had to do tests, and they had to do this. We had to do an x-ray and blood work, and, you know, all these fun things. And luckily, he loves the vet. He loves people. The biggest problem was he was mad at me that I wasn't letting him out of the examination room to, like, roam the halls and meet the vet cat. But yeah, so we got him there, and same deal. No shots, but like medicine. So he had 5 syringes I had to give him, and he gets 4 pills a day. 4 pills a day. I have to administer 4 pills, and like I can't hide them in food, so I literally have to grab him and just hawk them down his. Oh, well, that feels a little scabby. Oh, it's healing. A little shave patch. Anyways, yes, so that was really fun because like any money I did have set aside for Stitch North went to these 2 guys' vet bills, and worth it. Would do it again, you know. And it was a little bit bittersweet because like I was pretty sure I was not going to Stitch North anyways. I was on the wait list, and like I was right at my deadline of like last minute flights and hotel rooms. And by hotel rooms, I was probably gonna beg to sleep on someone's couch there in like the hotel room, and or like stay with family and transit in because I have that option. But it was sad, you know. I love Stitch North, and it's and the last weekend of April and the first weekend of May, and most of my friends are going to the first weekend of May, and I'm just like, it's fine, right? Like, you know, would spend the money on these cats again. And, you know, even if I did get on the wait list, it would feel so financially irresponsible to go again, you know, spend that money and go. It's just like, it's nice to be surrounded by your people. And like I got into flosstube as kind of a way of connecting with people and chatting and like, you know, making friends and connections and talking about my hobby because I get obsessed and I like to blather. And it would have been nice to, you know, have spent the weekend. You know, it's a very busy, socially exhausting weekend, but it really does fill my social cup in a way that lasts a long time. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm real bummed I'm not going to be able to go and give hugs and get hugs and make a bunch of impulsive starts and purchases and all that things. And it is what it is. And like, I know I've already planned a Stitch North start with my friends going to Stitch North. The Quaker from Jacob, Modern Folk Embroidery, and we're gonna probably have a Zoom with people that aren't going that week, just, you know, because it is what it is, right? It's just, you know, I'm sad about it, and that's okay. I am sad, and that's okay. And I would do it again for these cats. But, you know, I can't snap my fingers, but I feel like I deserve, like, you know, round snaps for still sitting on a somewhat regular floss tube schedule. Like, what is this? What is this? Who is this? Okay. All right. I guess now that is the life talk, and I'm going to start talking about the stitching. Oh my goodness. I'm popular. All right, Easy. Are you going to sit in my lap the whole time, buddy? I don't know. He might leave. Okay. I can't keep petting you. I have to show off cross stitches. Yeah. Anyways, dealing with the cat stuff, like I was mentioning, he's a big boy. He's around 20 pounds for most, which I think is like 12, I don't even know how many kilograms. Anyways, and he is now in a very small bag of cat food that is $50 a bag, and his weight isn't even listed on the recommended servings. Like, it stops, like it breaks down. His weight isn't even on the list of it. And yeah, he thinks he's gonna get cooked with food. Yeah. And he's mad at me too, because like I've been giving them more wet food the last couple weeks, like the last week or so, but I've been adding a bunch of water and mashing it up to increase hydration, and he is so disgusted by it. He hears a can, he's so excited, he comes running, and then he sees me pouring the water in and mashing it up, and he's just like, and he sniffs at it and he walks away. It's all gone. It's all gone. Like he just has to let me know he's displeased with it. But that's okay. Oh, he's being such a good boy. Okay, he's being so sweet with me. Usually he's like trying to knock over the stand and run around and okay. So I have 3 finishes to show. So we're gonna start with that. Ooh, ow. We're making very happy biscuits on my leg. Very happy biscuits. But let's not do those happy biscuits. Let's happy biscuit somewhere else, buddy. So my first one, I said Cryptic Vibe Stitches, which is, I want to say the Vancouver Island-based cross-stitch designer. They put up a little Facebook haul. They had 7 small butterflies that they were looking for some people just to quickly test stitch for them. And I saw one of them. I don't know if 100% if this is a monarch, because there are butterflies that look like monarchs that aren't monarchs. But I have a very special association with monarchs from my grandpa, and I'm working on having like a little bit of a tribute wall with like photos of him, me and monarch stitches and such. So I was really excited that this one wasn't claimed. So I stitched that one up. I have to take cuter photos. It's on just a 14 piece of Aida I had dyed in my stash. Yeah, and like it's really little. I think this was 290 stitches, 3 colors. So really nice little travel stitch. And I have a fun finishing idea that I'm going to work on. I have to take some nicer photos. Just because, you know, if I'm test stitching for somebody, I want to make sure it's nice, you know? Not just my usual. Yeah, so that was really nice. It was really quick, like, you know, 290 stitches, 2 back stitches. I'm getting all that up again. And if it's not a monarch, that's close enough to a monarch that I feel okay with that. My grandparents on my dad's side are Quebecois, so they lived in Quebec. Basically, my family on that side has lived in Quebec for the last 400 years. And the monarch migration goes through Quebec, and it was one of those special things that he liked to share with us, and why I have a strong association with monarchs with him. The other finish, I had shared this on my floss tube 2 weeks ago, and I had said, oh, I'm not going to have it for my next floss tube because I get paid on Friday and I'm going to mail it out. Yes. What happened that meant I didn't mail it out on Friday? On my payday. Could it be cat number 1? Could it be cat number 2? I don't know. Anyways, they got slightly delayed because it's not that the shipping is so expensive. It's just like my budget for that week went through the roof window, and it was just like, yeah, no, I can't afford to do shipping right now. It's gonna have to wait. But that's nice because now I get to show you my finished part. Which, I mean, you've already seen most of it. I only had to finish off that, but yeah. This is going to be so beautiful once it's all done. I love the color palette. Yeah, so I already talked a lot about this last week, so I'm not going to go too much more into it. Other than this is a really fun stitch. I love the color conversion that Michelle has done. But here's what the original looks like. And, like, it's similar, right? Like I would say the colors are very similar. Like, it's just the oranges are a little bit brighter. It's a little bit frostier in some colors. Like, it's a very close conversion. It's not like she went, you know, like right now, like, you know, it is still a very pink, you know, cool toned line. And so it's not like she went like completely off the walls of different colors, but it's just different enough that I enjoy the differences. So that was the finish that I'm going to send off when I get paid tomorrow. I'm getting that out before anything happens. And this one is one I mentioned about doing. It's the bee sampler. I have to iron it and take a nicer photo. So this one, my former coworker, she, like, because I cross-stitch on work on my breaks all the time, like, and it's useful in my time, you know, like, it's better than just staring into the void. I read or I cross-stitch usually, and cross-stitching is nice. It's, you know, free time. And so, like, I was always cross-stitching, and then she lives with her grandmother, because she's, like, in her, I would say she's 21 or 22, like, she's living with her grandmother after, like, after a bad breakup, right? And so, you know, we talk about her grandma, and, like, you know, her grandma does things, and I guess in, like, one of her, like, her grandma got this magazine, Country Patchwork and Craft, right? And it was, like, quilting and things like that, and I guess the one time in 2001, they had, like, this cute little sampler, and her grandmother was like, I'm gonna do that. So she started it off, and her grandmother did everything that's not the border, basically. So, like, she did this top green of the border, but like, so the letters and that circle and the beehive is all grandma. And then she just put it away, and, you know, her eyesight was gone. She couldn't finish it. But, you know, unfinished projects sit on us. And I guess my coworker was talking about, you know, like, oh yeah, my coworker crafts at work. And grandma was like, could you ask her if she could finish this? And it was really funny, because I guess I know I've mentioned it before. She came in and was like, hey, like, I brought it with me. My grandma wants to know, like, it's okay, you can say no. And I was like, well, let's see it first, right? And I was like, okay, like, it is probably more than half the piece I need to finish. However, that square border, like that little, like, gingham border, went really fast. It was a lot of stitches, but it's just 4 square, 4 square, 4 square, 4 square. So that went pretty fast. And this leaf border is pretty repetitive. I did end up having to frog this one whole section because I did too many extra stitches and it wasn't going to match up nicely. So I did have to do it, but it wasn't a hard thing to finish. There was like 4 color, like, it was easy. It was easy to do. It was a bit of a commitment of time, which maybe I could have spent on one of my mailing whips, but, you know, I was thinking about that too. Like, when my grandmothers passed on, we inherited their craft projects and finished them. Like my mom had quilts and she, you know, quilt tops that we got quilted. We had half done like knitting projects and, you know, crochet projects, and they were finished on and distributed, and it is nice to have that little touch, right? And I feel like, I don't want to say obligation, right? But to carry on a craft forward is special, right? And like, I don't want it to be like my whole thing, right? Like, I'm not going to do it for any random person, but it was like, yeah, you know what? This is within my realm of capabilities, and I will make time for it because that's important. The only thing left is we have to do something in that little center bit. I think her grandmother wants to put her name specifically, like my coworker's name, and then she's thinking maybe something like, you know, be happy, or, you know, something like that. I'm just waiting to hear about that, and then I can pass it off to her and be done with it. It is really sweet. Like, if I saw that like in a thrift shop or like garage sale, I would buy it for the house. I don't know if I would necessarily stitch it for myself, but like, you know, I do enjoy the aesthetic of it. So now we're moving on to whips. So I do not have the new Needle Lot book yet. Of course I'm getting the Needle Lot book. I am a huge fan of how Iris designs her stuff. Like, love Iris, love her, like, I feel like I need to just go on, like, do like a flosstube special where I just praise Iris for like 20 minutes. I pre-ordered the book, however, it is being shipped from Ontario, I guess. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't local, like, wasn't, you know, wasn't here ready to go on launch day. You know, wow. Right? So it is still coming, and now it's a snowstorm, so I'll probably get it by the weekend. And I did kind of play around with holding off on my filming this flosstube so I could talk about, you know, have it. But then a lot of people got advanced copies, or, you know, lived in places that they got the copy like the day it launched, the day after. So I feel like there's enough resources out there that you could see the book in theory and have people talk about it. And I'll talk about it when I get it. Like, it's not like the content's gonna be old. It's just like I'm not the, you know, I'm not groundbreaking news with it, so I'm okay. Yeah, and I'm just so excited. There's so many great cross stitch books coming out in the next this year, and so I don't have it, but like that was a second order because I finished this and I finished these ones. I was like kind of like, okay, like I gotta go into my whip pile, and then I was like, you know what? I should probably finish one of my, from Cross Stitch from the Forest, you know, last year's book de jour, right? Because I think there's 25 patterns, and I think there's about 7 I definitely want to do, and like that's still a really good return of investment. Like, they're all beautiful. It's just there's definitely 7 I can see myself doing. I was like, you know what? I should probably finish a book pattern before I get all you know, down with 1,000,000, because I know in Iris's there's a unicorn I want to do for my daughter's birthday, so I have to get that one going as soon as I get it, because her birthday's in August, so I want to give myself some time there. So yeah, I was working on Rowdy J, which is what it's gonna look like when it's done. Yeah, so that's it, and this is where I'm at. I've started to do some outlining and just working on the colors. This is a piece dyed by my friend Anna, Books and Stitches, who's kind of on a hiatus from flosstube and cross stitching. I want to say this was called Summer Skies. I want to say that's what she called it. I'd have to actually go and check. So I started that one during the Blue Jays run last year, because it just seemed fun as a bandwagon thing, and now I'm just working on it. I will say my least favorite part about these cross stitch books, I don't want to show the pattern itself, but the pattern, for me at least, for a lot of them, it's done, does horizontal make sense? Like, the book opens like this, right? But you have to read the pattern like this, and then, right? So that's a little bit hard because it doesn't stay open nicely, and you can't really photocopy it, because like there is a very generous like margin, but like it's still, like, because this binding, it doesn't photocopy flat, and like, I've been trying to take a picture and then like manually mark off, and it just becomes a lot of steps for when I'm just trying to stitch. And it's just a comment. It's not like, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. This one's simple enough. I'm just kind of mentally keeping track of it and accepting it will be what it will be. But it is a comment I have. So that was that one I worked on. I did some work on my heart sampler. I finished up that square and I started to work on the rib cage. This pattern was originally called to, I think 5 shades of red. And I had this really fun idea, like, it's a sampler, why don't I make it like a sampler? So I have a whole bunch of like different red threads and pink threads. I've got some blues and some brownish reds, because I was kind of thinking there's down here there's actually a whole heart. I was thinking maybe I'll try and make it like the blue and red for oxygen and deoxygenated blood. There's a sword, so I'm thinking about doing like a silver, just kind of keep the blue not so random. Haven't really figured it out. I brought it out because I took a little bit of floss from Michelle's Round Robin to make it the heart in this rib cage. Oh gosh. There we go. So it's like this bluish red, pink. And I was like, that's really fun to have in the rib cage. And then I started using this Threadworks 10301. I think it's actually really funny because like it shows up really nice here. I don't know, because it's whitish creamish, whatever. I bought that floss because I was looking for one that'd be like bone. And I literally was in my LNS like looking at, specialty floss, and they're like, hi, what are you looking for today? I'm like, oh, I'm just trying to find a floss that looks like bone. Yeah. I'm going to use this, I think, in also some modern folk embroidery ones with the skeleton. So that's why I got the big 20-yard one. And it works because it's like a subtle off-white to like cream ecru sort of variegation. So it does like kind of give that aged bone look to it. My one problem with Threadworks, it's not a problem, it's a comment, is that they're very even in its variegation, like, which is good. Like they have for a variegated floss, they have a very strict, thing. Like it's going to be like you get X amount of stitches before, if transitions, which is good. It can just not look as random as you'd like a variegated floss to look like sometimes. Like I think that's like the plus and minus of variegation. Sometimes it's really random, so it looks really good, or you can stitch it in such a way that it looks good, and other times you get like a little stripey. And like my red there is a little stripey, but that's okay. And then like these ones aren't really a good example because they're only like a couple stitches and like there's 2 colors. Yeah, so I don't know. I find it interesting with variegated floss. Like, I'm not so skilled I can control the pooling. So sometimes I'm like, that's a little stripey, but I don't know how. And I know I've seen sometimes people do really cool things where they actually like stitch in a spiral, so that it's like a almost fussy cut in a way. But again, I'm not that skilled. I'm just here. So worked on that. I did some work finally on my 2 Phoenix for you. Oh, where did it? Okay. Well, I realized I've taken the cover, the pattern itself, out of the bag because I didn't want it to get all folded up and jammed around. So I just have my working copy in there, so I can't show you that. So 2 Phoenix for you, which was the Modern Folk and Evertotes Salentines last year, maybe 2024. No, 2025. And it's going to be really beautiful. It has these beautiful 4 colors from Roxy Floss, of course, which are Crimson, Heart to Heart, Firebird, and Rhapsody. And I've started to use them all. And maybe I was working on this because I want it finished and I want to move that floss over to the heart sampler bag. Maybe that was my impetus for working on it. I can't say. I really can't say. Maybe that's why I picked it up. Yeah. There's that. Hey, leave your brother alone. Sorry, my one cat is sitting there and yeah, don't be a jerk. So I worked on that. Eli of Thick Threads is doing his Fat Bear weekly sale, and I decided I was going to join in this year and do Santa of the Forest. Mainly I just want to get that bear done because that is a chunky bear and that's a reasonable goal I feel like for the year, I'm trying to do like a length of floss every day because like this is gonna be huge. This is Night Owl from Evertotes because the model is most of the ones I see stitched on this have been stitched on like a very neutral background. And I thought a dark blue would be really fun. So it would bring in like the center bit of his cape, like his stomach, and like really make the reds pop. And there's like snowflakes that you can never see because it's always on like a grayish sort of fabric. So I thought it'd really pop on that. The problem is stitching on a 32 count dark. I said I was trying to do like a length of floss a day, and it's been like 3 days because this little black nose has been driving me batty. Like, I don't know how I suck at counting so much, because like there's like, you know how like there's 7 stitches and then there's 7 right above it, and then I'm doing it and it's not matching up. I'm like literally, how are you failing to count when it's literally just copying the line below it? But here I am, and I've tried stitching with better light. I've tried a couple different lighting solutions, and I think I'm going to have to bust out like my really big key snap to really stretch the, I don't like it because it doesn't hold the fabric taut enough, and I like to be able to get like really close to dark fabric, but I think I'm gonna need to do that so there's less bunching, and then like do like a really fun situation where I like clamp it between my knees and face the window in just a certain way so I can just click down. It's a very elegant solution to how I stitch. I stitch like a really proper lady. No, most of my stitching I'm kind of like hunched up like a little gremlin, but you know, it's fine. I'm usually trying to work around a cat in my lap, maybe a child under my arm, and that is how it is. It's I'm mad at it, so it's a little bit in timeout, but I can't be in timeout for too long because then I'll fall behind, and then I find if I fall behind, I don't pick things back up, and that's not really fun because then I just don't do it. The last one, I worked on this a little bit at the beginning of the month since my last floss tube. It just also took a bit of hiatus because I was working on some other things, and I can only work on this in the daytime because I've got a dangling thread there. It's the Cottagecore Witch Sampler by Bad Stitch. It's on this hand-dyed 40 count by Grateful Thread, which is an Alberta dyer. And like you can see, it's a really fun purpley green, and I thought it really well with the colors in this sampler. It's a 40 count, and my eyes are poop. So I do a little bit in the daytime when I'm not working and have no kids, because it is concentration. And I probably should just buy a floor lamp or something, but I stitch on this couch usually right here because like I get nestled up in the corner. There's space for the cats, there's space for the kids. Like my kids are living room kids. The living room is their playroom, so I can sit there and supervise their coloring, their doll, like whatever they're doing. So like I'm here, I'm stitching, but I'm also actively involved in parenting, and I'm just so happy they're more into independent play because oh man. And like sometimes independent play only gives me like 5 minutes of stitching, but like it is what it is, and eventually they'll grow out of it. My oldest likes to like come sit next to me and like pet the floss and give me options and like chatter at me. And it's really cute. She's turning 5 in August, so I think we're ready for her to like get some like the bigger plastic, the plastic like canvas, or like the probably plastic, easier to hold, and like the plastic needles. I don't know if I'm ready to teach her because I want to teach her. I want her to have the same hobbies as me. That is wonderful. I don't know if like my patience. Like, cause like, I think I'm just gonna have to start with like, maybe sure. Cause it's like, do you give them to like a pattern? Like a very simple pattern, right? Like just some pixels, sort of. But then I'm like, it's gonna be really hard for me to like, she's gonna do her own thing. She might not follow the pattern. Like, I'm already stressed out thinking about it. And it's like, I can't be stressed out about it. Like, it is just the joy of creating. That is very pure. But I'm like, there's a grid, there's a pattern. Like, follow each square, you follow. Like, I'm wrestling with myself. Because like, I don't know, like, or like they do the ones, maybe they're like the pre-printed colors, so you just follow the color. There's a lot of options. I'm overwhelmed. some of them seem kind of shady, so I haven't really figured out what the best thing to do. Like, maybe the best thing to do is just to give her a bunch of yarn and the needle and let her create her own things and some graph paper. I could also just ask her what she wants to do. That, you know, revolutionary. I know. 'Cause she usually just tells me what to stitch, so yeah, I'm thinking about that. Because also the problem is too, if I get her that too, her younger sister is going to want the same thing too. It's like, you literally, if you've ever read the storybook, if you give a mouse a cookie, yeah, so if I give her a cross stitching kit, her younger sister's going to want a cross stitching kit, and then I'm going to need to do this, and I'm going to need to do that. And yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited. Like, I'm excited about it, but I'm also like, ugh, like maybe we'll start with like weaving or something. That, like, I have no idea. That was a side note. I have some haul. I got this in the mail, and I might have to backtrack it because I don't know where it came from. I have this feeling that I maybe owe somebody some money or something. But it's some wizards. Obviously, me and my wizards. I don't want to stitch the castle. I just want to stitch the wizard. Yeah. And then my mom got these two kits, and like they're full-on kits. They're the Calendar Bears and Calendar Cats from Designworks, and they look like they're full kits. And this was just like a random surprise. I was like, oh, like, mother, why did you? And she says, oh, like, for all your swaps and exchanges, I thought this would be cute. And I'm like, okay, cute. Like, don't really, yeah, I'm not really set on that, but like, I'm sure there's some options there. Actually, the bear one's kind of silly, but like, I have to get closer to show off the cat one because there's actually some ones in there I'm interested in. Like look, the New Year's one's in a little diaper. Look at this little beach bum. The May one's kind of cute. And like November, he's got this cat has a chicken leg, like a chicken wing. He's just eating. Like, what is that? So I'm like, I'm kind of into the individual cats, but like, I don't know, like, she got it for $2, so okay. Not a bad return on investment. I might not do anything with them, but I have them. And I do enjoy, like, what is it? Sorry, I just got distracted. I was like, what year are they from? That's always interesting to me. They're designed by Vicky Hart. 1061. You know, they don't really give a year. This one hasn't actually been opened. I don't want to open it because, like, you know, no year. Are you open? Yeah, no year given. But yeah, no, it's always nice to know that your mommy was thinking about you. So yeah, that is my cross-stitching stuff. That is all that I have been doing. I don't really have plans for the rest of the month. I feel like I've got my, you know, my only real plan is to keep working on this, the Fat Bear, and probably just chase down some finishes and work on some smaller things. I have to pick a new project for work, so I like working on like smaller 14 count ones at work. So I have to pick a new one for that because I was doing that beehive sampler. And now I gotta find something else to do and go into my trove of stuff and pick something out from there. The only thing new for me is I've been reading, I always read a lot of books, and I want to talk about books because I fell really hard into Dungeon Crawler Carl. Like, really hard. Like, it has been on my radar for a little bit, but it didn't seem like my interest, right? Like, or like my humor. But then more and more people that I know were really into it. So I was like, huh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. So I got the first one, and like, I actually had really good timing because I got right into it just before, like, only a couple weeks, but like just before I got really big all of a sudden. So I was able to get the first two books online, like no wait time at the library, devoured them. I put the rest of the physical books on hold, and there's a bit of a longer wait because my library would have like 3 copies with like 60 people waiting, which seems like a lot, but like honestly for a city of like almost 2 million people, that's not, you know, not that big. Like, I think when the latest Outlander book came out like a couple of years ago, I was like, there was like 1,000 holds on like 100 copies. So, you know, like, I was like, okay. And then I got sneaky, and I also put hold on my parents' library system because they had all the hardcover books too, but only like 5 people waiting. And then right around like a week later, all of a sudden my library required all the digital copies, so I was able to just like snap them up. So I binge read it over the space of like 10 days and really enjoyed them. I think I do want to reread them, but I'll probably space them out in a slower, less obsessive tear through, because there's a lot of references, and I think things that when you like reread a second or third time, you'll pick up on these nuances of like, oh, wait a second, that was important. So yeah, I got really into them. I am really into them. The next book, the eighth book comes out next month. I have a hold on at the library because I'm not spending 45 bucks on a book, but I probably will. I probably will buy all those books eventually. It's just not in my budget right now, especially because they're so massive. So yeah, I'm really obsessed with them, and I want to talk about them. I joined the Discord, and I joined some Facebook groups, like the big Facebook group and the Reddit. And I'm just kind of lurking because some of these fans are really intense. Like they've read the book multiple times, which I'm going to. I'm into it. But I have so many other books that I'm interested in that I'm not there. And then the TV show got announced. There's a whole bunch of opinions, and like, you know, like I'm just kind of sitting back and absorbing. And like, I want to talk about it. I want to have like these fun little fan theories, but not gatekeeping. I don't want to say gatekeeping, but there's some people I feel like comment with like this air of superiority. Like, I've been here since book 1, you know. And it's like, oh, great for you. I've read all 7 books. Let me talk about what's going on, you know. Like, what do you think's going on? And like, I don't follow like all the interviews and like fandom things, so it's like, I don't know. So I did see they had a fan night with the Colorado Avalanche, which was really funny because that's like a hockey intersection of the books. I guess the goalie of the Colorado Avalanche is a huge fan, and he was like trading stuff for copies of the books in the crowd. And I was like, you know what? I love that. I love when like people have these wholesome little interests that just show up out of nowhere. So that was I think a really cool thing. And like, I like the Colorado Avalanche. And they're not my favorite team. They're not my, you know, they used to be the Quebec Nordiques, so, you know, have a soft spot for them, and I think that was cool. I don't follow them too hardcore, so I'm like, I don't think of any active reasons why I dislike them, like some other teams, like Las Vegas. What? Yeah. So, yeah, no, so just, that was me. I've been watching a lot of, reading a lot of that. Personal life, I also had 2 different children's birthday parties the last 3 weeks. That was rough. Small children birthday parties in indoor playgrounds are a special punishment. My 3-year-old, I swear, learned how to teleport. Like, I could not keep track of my 3-year-old to save my life. And like, other than like, even just if I was physically crawling around the structure with her, which I am not physically crawling around the structure. And like, it was just very, almost dystopian too. Like, it was, because it was just this massive, this warehouse turned into an indoor playground. And yeah, and now that was rough. And like, you know, it was like, that's how I like to spend my Saturdays. I like to spend my Saturdays at home STITCHERY when my kids draw, or we go outside and play, and I can, you know, I'm a homebody. That was too much people in. But yeah, that was everything. Thanks for listening to the little house talk at the beginning, listening to the ramble at the end, and seeing the STITCHERY at the beginning. I will probably be back at the end of April. Probably the same weekend everyone's at Stitch North, because it'll just be there going, think of me. No, I'm not that sad. But I should probably do something there, because I did ask my friends at Stitch North to pick me up some stuff, and timing-wise, that makes more sense. So yeah, again, thanks for watching in, and I hope that is not as gross out for you guys as it is for me. I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm dealing with here. Do we see that? Do we see how disgusting that is? This was not all like that this morning. So I'm going to go shovel, and I hope everyone has a great day.